I will start by saying one of my favorite features of React, and if this wasn't true, I wouldn't use it, is actually due to JSX. The fact that JSX can freely intermix with arbitrary JavaScript is the way it should be. It lets you write much higher quality code. So many other frameworks and libraries are template based. Like I remember this when I was, learning Svelte recently. I cannot stand that. I'm like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Why are you limiting what I can do? And like, it does make sense in some ways from a technical perspective because it allows Svelte to do what it does and compile everything ahead of time, which is not as easy to do in React, mostly because of this feature. So I do understand from a technical reason, but if the performance is good enough without that restriction, then don't put that restriction on me. I want to design my components to be as, intuitive to users as possible. So actually, one of my favorite features of React is just JSX and the fact that I can mix JavaScript code into it. I absolutely love that. It's what makes React actually usable as a library for me. But yeah, what's your favorite thing about React? We'd love to hear from you. And I love hearing from people on questions like this because I learned so much that I never thought of. People tell me, oh yeah, this is my favorite. And I'm like, wow, you're right. I never thought about that, but that is actually unique and that's really good and something we should, investigate and learn more about, right? So Jane's going to tell us about her favorite. She says her favorite thing so far is one of the simple things that React does to just make writing code a bit more pleasant. As I dig deeper into React and gain a deeper understanding of how to do things, I may someday be found to elaborate on my love of React server components or rendering like Thomas does today. But she says that she simply appreciates one of the little gifts that React has given developers. I love how I can use the map and filter functions to display my HTML. I swear, I purposefully didn't read what Jane said her favorite thing was about React so that I could give my opinion separately and not be colored by it. But apparently the same thing is our favorite because this is exactly what she's talking about. So she says she loves how she could use the map and filter functions to display HTML. I have memories of trying to manually update and filter tables without doing a complete form resubmit. It was messy at best, very difficult to follow for new developers, and prone to bugs. So she's talking about in other systems where, especially if you're updating the UI imperatively, the old style, you had to do what React does internally, which is keep track of which things on the screen actually need to be updated. So if you have a list of things and only two of the things in the list actually change, you don't want to go and replace everything on the screen with all the new content. You just want to update the two things that changed. This is what React does internally for us. But that means that we can write code in a much more natural way using map and filter to just return our list, and we don't have to write all this glue code to be like, oh, what actually changed, And so she's like, yeah, I love this. This is great. And I totally agree. So she says with React, I can easily manipulate the UI and avoid refreshing and requerying for data. Not only does this improve my life as a developer, but it allows my users to experience a much quicker and smoother web page. I can't say that I completely love using JSX for everything. To my untrained eyes, it seems to just muddy things up. There's two different types of syntax all in the same place, and I have to remember which things need to be capitalized and which don't, and how to appropriately add in CSS and all that. But perhaps that will fade in time, and I'll become a sold out supporter of JSX. Yeah, so I wanna follow up with that and say I agree again. Um, and yeah, if you use it more, a lot of those things will fade away. But at the same time, JSX isn't perfect. Maybe this is going to be annoying, but I still think the way that we've done things in Lisp for a long time using what's called SXML is certainly a step up from JSX. One of the things I hate about JSX is the fact that I have to write closing tags. If you use SXML or anything like that, you'll know there's literally no reason for that. It's just a waste. And it makes, refactoring your JSX when you're like trying to take out, maybe a div in the middle of all your output, a lot more of a pain. And it means you can get weird, stuff where it doesn't line up. Anyways, I'm not going to keep going on and on about it. Like JSX it's better than a lot of stuff, Mustache and all those, other technologies we've had in web. So it's definitely better. I also agree. I don't love it.